in effect. Nia. A girl named Nikki, I guess you could say she was a sex fiend. I met her in a hotel lobby, masturbating with a magazine gang. She said, how'd you like to waste some time? And I could not resist when the song little Nikki ground. Nikki, yeah, that's right. Morning hash with your man kShaun. MemesIT.com, Black IIT Productions. Looks like we might not get up to that 79-degree mark today. And we might. Who knows? Who knows? We'll see. But it is May 21st, 2014. Congratulations is in order to Josh from The Voice. And my wife watches The Voice, which pretty much means I watch The Voice. If I want to be close to her beauty, then I have to do whatever is necessary. All the husbands out there know what I mean. If you're not married, then you probably don't know what I'm talking about. You probably don't know what I'm talking about. I want to thank you for joining us. Let's show you what the weather's going to be like. First of all, stop looking at myself. I'm always checking me out just to make sure there's not a wild Sanchis or Vadiato hair just hanging out, waving. What's up? What's happening? So there's a weather trend every weekend. Get a little closer, and that little quick key is Control plus or minus on any web browser, most web browsers. But look, it says 79. I don't think we're gonna hit that. I don't think we're gonna do that. I don't think that's possible, yo. Alright? All my Brooklyn peeps. All my Brooklyn peeps out there. So they think somewhere around there. I don't think so. Anyway, we got rain. It looks like rain right now in Santa Fe, New Mexico. So here's the one I really like. Made all the parents mad. Oh yes, and I own it. Yes. Yes. Bought and paid for. Yeah, that's the one. If you haven't heard it, I stand at 6 miles. Ooh, I so ooh, yeah. I think that's it. That's it. That drove parents crazy, man. What is he saying? Yeah, here's the fly jam. Right there, boy. This was it. I had to get me an Apollonia when I seen that movie. This song was so fly, you just have no idea. Grown folks, young folks, youngins and oldins, oldies but goodies, all of those people were going crazy after Prince. And it's no secret that it was a great album, very well produced and engineered. But yeah, I had to do that little backwards track that was such a controversy in its day. But if you haven't heard your Purple Rain album in a while, dust it off. And if you got the special track with the special Christmas song, oh man, they didn't make a lot of those. People went crazy. I remember my homeboy, Jarvis Johnson, Councilman Jarvis Johnson, went to California and hung out with Ali and his family. He was real. I remember when he came back, he was in love, sort of, with Ali's daughters. That's all he could talk about was, man, Ali's daughters, the champ's daughters. Oh my God! And he was. I mean, I'd never seen Jarvis Johnson excited about anything. He was really excited. I was so happy for him. We was over at his grandparents' house when he was telling me, and he showed me the album that he got while he was in Cali. It was totally different from what they were selling in Texas, and it actually had a couple of the B-sides that didn't originally get released, and I fell in love with the Christmas song that Prince did. I'm one of those Christmas freaks, sort of not as much as Mariah Carey. Sorry, Nick, Mr. Cannon, or Mariah Carey Cannon. Should put that in context. I'm not like that. I imagine if I had, if I could, I would. Let's just leave it at that. Our girl from New York, Mariah Carey. Mariah over there. But I am kind of a crazy Christmas person, and in sort of a silly kind of way. I really enjoy giving, especially to needy people that are sick and don't see any hope. So I'm still in love with the Christmas song, even though it's kind of a sad song. In a way, I really like it. So if you haven't checked it out in a while, dust it off and hit play. And it's still a great album. Anyway, so Friday is supposed to get around 66. I can't see that happening. The low will be 48. And supposedly some rain. It may not hit the ground, but it's supposed to rain. It's supposed to rain, y'all. Y'all, bring Paula Deen back. I want to say that. That's a damn shame. And I say Ninja more than anybody I know. I keep Ninja alive. I say it like Paul Mooney said, it makes my teeth white. Ninja, 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 ninja. Ninja. Especially when I see a ninja that made the news for all the wrong reasons in New Mexico. All right, and I don't believe all of the ninjas that get in trouble here and get put on the front pages of magazines and papers and all over the web and on news stories. But every time I see a brother or a sister in the news for the wrong reason, I always try to give them the benefit of the doubt, because I can only imagine. A girl was asking me about if I wanted a receipt the other day, and I didn't want to. It just kind of came out. I said, when you're my color, you have to have a receipt. It's just the way it goes. She looked at me and she was puzzled for a second, and then she just busted out laughing. And I guess every store now is trying to save paper, trying to save some trees, but I need my receipt. I need my receipt, Jim. Better than a hog needs slop. You want to dig? Anyway, traffic, of course, is looking fabulous right now. But you need to know some things. One of them is stay sober in New Mexico. There's a big beer fest going to be going down. It's already kind of started, but officially kicks off Friday. And they have something like oyster beer, and they have that supposedly tastes like chocolate. Big up to KOB4 and Steve Stucker. He's going out to Angel Fire. He has his own motorcycle rally, which I think is awesome. I think it's great. But keep in mind, there's a long history of carnage on our roads in New Mexico. And I can tell you there will be no expense spared from protecting the roads. One, it's revenue. Two, responders absolutely hate picking dead babies off the highway. Sometimes there's a body here and a head there. So I'm not trying to creep you out. I just want you to know there's a long history in New Mexico that you need to be aware of, because most people don't know. until they get that first DUI, get the municipal jury, but get put in the back of the vehicle after doing all those tests. And then comes, do you want a breath test or a blood test? So, and you don't have to be drunk. It's not about being drunk. It's not. Anyway, we're going to have lots of people. There's lots of people already in town, but there will be more and more and more, and this thing's going to be crazy because this year, along with Fiestas, there is, on Friday instead of Thursday, there will be Zozobra. If you don't know what that is, we burn Old Man Gloom in Santa Fe, and it's been going on for a very long time. And usually in the past, they were able to get police presence on Thursday in downtown Santa Fe and then move the entire force to Fiestas in Española. There's another great reason for Española to do Google Hangouts with YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, because now it goes for 8 hours and it's free. And I don't know how long that's going to be possible. But if you have car clubs, because the cars will be out again this weekend, hopefully everybody leaves their weapons at home. In the past, there have been lots of scrimmages between law enforcement and some of the good folk in Española. And all I can say about that is oppression. How can you have a good time when someone is waiting for you to make a misstep so that they can haul you in for revenue, or just because they don't like you? I'm hoping that that changes. There's a new chief. There's a new whole bunch of rules, and there's a whole bunch of real effort to try to bring peace and prosperity back to Española. So I hope that it will work out, and I hope that car clubs will work in conjunction with the force to make it a family event and not just a G event, because it's all about uplifting your town, and you have a great product. The brand is simple: lowrider capital of the world. And if you guys just come together, you're going to be surprised at just how much revenue you can actually bring to your city. And I mean that in a very real way. And if you don't know how to operate a webcam or a laptop and all you know is cars, hey, call your primo. Call your primo up and say, hey, I got a new idea, and we're gonna take this worldwide. Whether they're 8 years old or you know, a little bit younger than you, that's great. That's what you want. They know how to do this stuff without question. Now they don't know how to replace a transmission, but they know how to work a webcam. Trust me on this. Try it and see. Anyway, traffic will increasingly get worse. Please be courteous to all the people that have traveled here to spend lots and lots of money. Lots. They help repair potholes. If you've ever tried to repair a pothole yourself, you know that it's not exactly cheap. There's a little bit of work involved, and you know, if we had to do it, if it does come out of our pockets. However, we have a such thing as a tax that we anybody that comes from out of state that purchases things here, they pay a little extra, and we want them to, so that we can actually have a budget. We can actually take care of problems that we have on our roads, fix our lights, etc., etc., etc. There's just a whole bunch of revenue for that. So you know, if you see out-of-state plates, or if you see a rent-a-car, or if you see somebody kind of acting erratic, you know, they don't exactly know, the blinker goes left, the blinker goes right, and then the hazards come on, watch out. They may be about to make a U-turn. I got involved in one of those. A guy first thing he did, he put his blinker on to make a left. It's a double yellow line now on a very small street. And it didn't occur to me that this person was from out of town. If I would have paid more attention, the plate said California. And then he put on his hazards, right? And then he made a U-turn without even stopping. And there I was, ha ha ha, bam. And guess who got in trouble for it? Guess whose interest rate went up? You know, and I was nice as pie to this guy because I realized we need the revenue, you know. And so I was not happy that I didn't pay enough attention. Now I do. I pay a lot of attention to out-of-state plates, rental cars, whether somebody is looking at a map, what's going on. And, you know, as a motorcycle rider, that's what we generally do. We hold down that left lane unless somebody gets super crazy and we let them have it. Or we're paying attention to what's going on in the cab of the vehicle because it could mean your life. If there's people arguing and this, so now I pay more attention while I'm driving the car because we have so many tourists here, and I don't want to hit another tourist, to be honest. Especially when I know that most likely I'm not going to win the claim. So do us all a favor and give them a break. Back up off of them, especially if you see something strange happen with their driving. Let them find out where they're going and let them get there so they can spend their hard-earned money to support us, basically. So the kinder you are, the more graceful you can be, means that they may return and bring more people to spend more money. So I'm all for that. Aren't you? Aren't you out there in Abiquiu, in Gibson, Hernandez, Alcalde, Española, Taos, Chimayo, Las Vegas, Albuquerque, the big city, Rio Rancho, your suburb away from home? Crazy suburb, Rio Rancho. And they want to stay crazy. So traffic's looking good right now. That's all going to change real soon as we get closer to lunch. And since school is out and there's more tourists in town, lots happening, a lot of people coming through. Just be careful. Be aware. If you're not aware, it is Memorial Weekend this weekend. So there will all of my party animals snap to the fact. If you know a party animal and you see this video, snap to the fact that it's a holiday weekend. If you end up in the pokey, you may not see daylight for a while. And that's unfortunate, but it's so very true, I can tell you. I can tell you. From experience, this ninja has spent a July 4th weekend in the pokey, and it wasn't fun. All the way up in Tia Maria. No bueno, no mucho malo. Ninja, 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 ninja. Boy, oh boy. I'm trying to impart that wisdom back to you so that you know. But it may not work. You may just think I'm a crazy ninja and it only happens to ninjas. Not true. When I went into the cell, oh my God. There was one Caucasoid. One. Just one. He was all beat up because he still felt privileged, like he was out in the free, right? And that got him in some trouble right there in the tank. The rest of the population, the populace in the pokey, was all people of color. All. It was just us. So if you are so prone to partying and you know that you got a pleasure center that you're trying to chase, a phantom, you're trying to get that high again, and it'll never happen because you've pretty much worn the pleasure center out. But if that drives you, if that's what motivates you to the liquor store at all kinds of times of the day and evening, just keep in mind, this is a holiday weekend, Memorial Day. So either buy more than you possibly could ever need, because that's what happens. You go to the store and you buy, since you're so crazy about the stuff, you buy, just enough, and then before you know it, for various reasons, before you know it, you're headed back to the store and gotcha. Revenue, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, and your vehicle, whether it's yours or not. Yeah, study, or if you're a tourist here and you're catching this show, The Morning Hash, just Google DUI or DWI, New Mexico, and you should go. It should take you to a wiki page, and woo, then you'll begin to understand. Um, not a lot of fun stuff happening there. A lot of people died that didn't have to die. So we have perhaps the toughest rules in the nation when it comes to drinking or driving under the influence. You understand what that means? That's just on your breath or enough of it in your bloodstream, which is very little. So hopefully you won't have to find out. Just a friendly reminder from your neighborhood ninja, kShaun with memesit.com, that this is a Memorial holiday weekend, and if you get picked up and put in the pokey, you could be there for a while, depending on how privileged you think you are. And that's what, whatever you say, don't say, do you know who I am? All right. All right. We got that out of the way. It's off my conscience. I did everything I possibly could to warn you. After that, have a good time. Enjoy. Just don't just mail your keys back to your house if you're here out of town. Or, before you start out, take your rental car back to the airport, all right, and take a cab to your hotel, and then walk up and down Central Avenue or downtown Santa Fe with no fear. I mean, the best they can get out of you is $50 if they pop you for PI or something like that, allegedly. But I doubt that will happen. As long as you're behaving yourself, should be copacetic. Anyway, so in the news, there's a ton. The president just got off the air with stern warnings that they're going to punish somebody. About 40 or more people dying, waiting for coverage, waiting to be helped at the VA. We hope that actually is not an idle threat. We hope that somebody loses their job that doesn't deserve to be in the positions, cooking the books and, making themselves look good. There was actually a report of a lady that left and got a higher position. I hope they backtrack and catch her too, because it's a damn shame. I mean, I'm not a war fan as far as real war is concerned. I understand there's a time and a place for defending yourself and all that good stuff. FBI could hire hackers on cannabis. The FBI also released a press release for help for bombs. And the first person I thought of in the big city, Albuquerque, New Mexico, that might do that was the guy that was posting hate postings onto a Jewish restaurant. That's the first person I thought of. But then I thought, well, he seems a little bit more crazier than that. Like, he wouldn't have just put pipe bombs in a garbage can. Like, he would have actually done something. And when it comes to testing, it looks like there was 5 incidents in New Mexico, in Albuquerque, and they seemed like kids might have done it, to me, because it looks like they were testing out charge integrity to see if, just how powerful. They might have videoed the garbage cans blowing up. It seems very childish, so I think it might be adolescent, someone that is very young and just got privy to some very simple bomb making techniques that we don't recommend. We don't condone it. When it comes to fuses, I've had firecrackers blow up in my hand. Extremely long fuses. They're just really fast. You can't really know how fast a fuse is going to be, and I almost lost a finger when I was younger. It was just like a Tom and Jerry cartoon. Here I was, all right, boom, and I thought, what the, ah, it was the worst fireworks accident I'd ever had and ever had in my life. But it taught me a lot about you can't trust a fuse. There's no way to actually, unless you're an expert, there's no way to know possibly without any experience or knowledge just how fast a fuse is going to go. So kids, if you're out there doing this stuff, there's better things that you could do with your time. And if you really need attention, Google Hangouts, if you want. That's what I would do or pick up a guitar, learn how to play, forget all about that macho crap, and learn how to play guitar. Oh yeah, this is 18 and above today? Yeah, that's right, hump day. Grown folk business today. Forget all about that macho shit and learn how to play guitar. You'll become popular with the ladies. That's the best kind of attention right there, with benefits possibly involved. Never know. It's possible. Could happen. Two, you become very sociable. People want you to go to parties, weddings, all kinds of events because you learn how to play 3 chords and tell the truth. And I can tell you, if you there's only 7 chords, 7 major chords for a guitar, or any instrument really. But on guitar, you only have to master 7 finger positions and build up a little bit of callus on your playing hand, whether you're right or lefty. And before you know it, you're playing your favorite songs because it's not hard. There's nothing hard about it. It does require practice as far as rhythm is concerned and what kind of sound you want out of the strings in relation to your hands. As far as are you going to muffle, pick, are you going to strum? But I can tell you the truth, you're going to become quite popular, more popular than if you were blowing up stuff. I can guarantee more positivity in your life. So take that advice. Guitars are fairly cheap. Any punch out has a cheap guitar for under $100. But we like the Candyman music store right here in St. Michael's. And they let you play their stuff without messing with you. You can try all the guitars if you want. They're not going to give you a hard time. And there are some really talented young people that go in there often that jam out. I guess they take a couple of classes there, but they're there about 3 times a week. I've seen it before, and these guys rock. And they're young, and they're determined, and they're talented, and they got a whole bunch of energy, and I love that. That's why I don't watch the NBA. I refuse, except for a couple of games. When it comes to the playoffs, that's when NBA stars actually play basketball. Other than that, I can go to a high school game and see more action. Real determined young athletes playing, in my opinion, professional grade basketball at high school. Because the professionals don't want to get hurt. They got endorsements, contracts, whatever, and it makes me sick that they won't play until the playoffs, basically. How many slam dunks were in the highlights this year? You tell me, because I don't know. And slam dunking is supposed to be the bee's knees, to borrow a term from Uncle Eli, the computer guy. Supposed to be the bee's knees. But I digress. Get you a guitar, man. Put the weapons down. You don't need no weapons. I've carried guns for years because I had to in New York, and it's not even worth it. It's a hassle. It's more of a hassle than anything else, and it occupies your time mentally and physically to the point that it's not worth it. Shoot me. I'm tired of carrying around this biscuit. I'm tired of carrying it. I'm tired of worrying about whether it's on safety, if it's cocked, and I'm so happy. Big ups to L Dog, H-Town, Houston, Texas, for spending hours tolerating terrible chord and progress for years. I don't know, about a good 4 or 5 years. This guy put up with me making horrible music. Horrible. And L.D. Scott, the man in Houston, Texas, now residing in the West End, that has been taken over by developers. They just waited till a lot of the older people died off, and then they paid all their family members about $5,000 or $10,000. Took the land. Now there's $100,000 houses sitting on those properties, and it's amazing. But that kind of thing has been happening all over the country, unfortunately. And if that's happening to you, our deepest sympathies, because we know what that is. We know what that is. And usually they'll go to the crackhead of the family with cash and a contract, and that's how they get a lot of properties, because they're not dumb. So just know. But you can check that story out. FBI was trying to find out, and they wanted any clues. And that's not exactly normal activity for the FBI. The Bureau is very sharp and doesn't necessarily usually need any assistance from the community. But in this case, they reached out because of all the things that are going on there in the big city. And by the way, we were not thrilled to hear that the Albuquerque, the big city of New Mexico, is going to be hosting their 8th annual police bad idea shooting contest. Bad idea. You know, what the hell was the justice doing down there if they were going to allow something that possibly could have started the whole problem? And, you know, what immediately came to mind for me was how many of those guys in the top 10 scoring at those shooting events actually kill people or got invited to be a part of the Albuquerque Police Department. Because there will be hundreds, if not thousands, of police from around the country and around the world coming to this event. Yes, it is an event that brings revenue to the city. However, if you are killing your citizens, mostly mentally challenged type people, and one child they shot in the back out there in the big city, and nothing was done about it. It almost seems as if that was one of the starting points of justifications that allowed them to kill several other people without any consequences. Just saying that they thought they had a gun, you know. And what happened? What happened to the real police? What happened to them? Why? What happened to the real deal police? You remember them? Do you remember those guys? They were in a beat situation. They knew everybody in the neighborhood. What happened to that? That was a great idea. Anyway, now we hire people from all over the place that don't know anything about the culture here in New Mexico, and they come from very, very aggressive places, and they think that we're like those places they came from. That's a theory I have. I'm not sure about that, but I think it should be part of the requirement is a culture class. I've been saying that for a year at least, because that seems to be part of the problem. They cannot embrace the culture. And anytime you leave one environment and go to another environment that's completely different, there will be a form of culture shock. How we respond to culture shock, each and every one of us, is all different. It's all different. Anyway, I don't believe that Albuquerque should be allowed to have the shooting contest because very bad things seem to have come out of it. And that's just Shaunism here. That's just me. That's all me. I'm not borrowing anybody's stuff. I saw the report on KOB, and it was my first thoughts. If you have any thoughts on it, please drop us a line. We don't want to cause any waves. There's enough waves going on, but we want to engage the community, because a lot of times communities have better ideas than the people that are making decisions that don't even live in New Mexico. They don't live here. So they don't know exactly how it is. They see the stuff on world news and national news, like cops or state police shooting at women and children. For what? I don't know. Why? That would seem like a shooting contest, if you will, allegedly. A reason to bring out the guns. I don't know why. When there's a such thing as a radio, helicopter, traffic lights, and cameras, and why you would do that, I don't know. And I think the lady, she went to a police station in that case, but she got off lucky, and she's probably gonna do some jail time. Probably. And that's sad. But so let's take a look at this. Hackers for Hire websites. So there was a national campaign not too long ago to get Hack This. I thought that was great recruitment for the bureau. The best would get a job and show those guys at the bureau how it's done. How you actually hack in the 21st century. So I thought that was great. You may have a difference of opinion. Please drop us a line. Either way. So here it is. This is from the Technology Desk editor and BBC, British Broadcasting Company. The tech section. So it says FBI could hire hackers on cannabis to fight cybercrime. This is what I've been telling all you young techs out there. Every town is working on a cyber unit. They don't care how old you are. They only care about how you can help. Here's another case by the Federal Bureau asking for this. So old wisdom says, our gifts make a place for us at the table of the feast. So if you're good at it, give it a shot. You're going to get a lot of no's. All you need is one yes. All you need is one person to say, yes, be here Monday morning. Just a thought. But you can check that story out yourself. We liked it. I always like this type of stuff. This is InteractMan. Okay? This is something that these type of things haven't been happening in the distant past or in the recent past. But now, it's a necessity. And if this is what you do, this is what you do really, really well, what do you got to lose? You have nothing to lose. Chances are you're out of work already anyway. Why not create some programs on your own? Say, okay, make a fake cyber unit. Make a pretend cyber unit. Just for shits and giggles, make your own cyber unit. And try to imagine how it would actually operate in a city or town that you live in. And use maps, use GIS, find out where the cameras are, get the IP addresses to those cameras, and you can start now without any pay. That's one of the best things to do, is to volunteer your time. You can go and ask your city officials or your town's officials and let them know what you're working on, and ask them for access. Ask them if they need an intern. Tell them you're working on a program. You have a whole outline of a cyber unit. All right, and keep pressing on it. Keep pressing on it. Our wildest dreams can be fulfilled if we would only chase after them and give it all we got. And then if it doesn't work out, hell, at least you know you gave it all you had. You gave it your best try. That doesn't mean you have to give up either. That means that now you own a lot more of yourself than you did when you got started. And if you happen to like what you're doing, so yeah, check that out, bbc.com, tech tab. This tech tab is moving slowly but surely closer to the front of the pack because tech rules our world, man. Tech is what it's about. Let's see here. Let's go to Wired.com. Wired.com. They have the whole gambit of news. The weirdest things to on the ground things. Let's see what they've been working on. There's Questlove. He's always asking for you to subscribe, and I think that's great. Subscribe if you are a tech junkie like me. Yeah. Some of the same. Oh, here we go. This has been an ad on Wired.com for a long time. Silicon Valley rushed to get rich off weed. So California is all in on this. And we think it's great. If you can drink until you OD, you cannot OD on cannabis. It's impossible. You're going to go to sleep first. If it was even possible, I've never even heard of anybody. I've heard of people getting sick because they smoked too much. It's like they got nauseated because they smoked way too much. And usually they tried to mix it with something else, like alcohol, and it didn't work out too well. Some people actually never smoked cannabis again or used cannabis again because of that experience. And here, a good rule of thumb is don't mix anything with herbs. Don't mix herbs and don't mix anything with herbs. It could be very disastrous. So just keep aware. Now that Colorado has proven that revenue can be made from it, the same way it's made from alcohol and tobacco. It's just a matter of time, like dominoes. The first quarter came in and it was millions. Millions. Not only that, it stops people from going down dark alleys, dealing with shady people, getting ripped off, buying stuff that is sprayed with DDT, Agent Orange, or stuff like that, allegedly. And it allows a city or a town or a state to be independently wealthy. And all of my Republican friends out there, this should make them very happy because they're about the grand old party. We got ours, you get yours. We got ours off of slavery and we don't need any help anymore, and you better get yours too now that slavery is abolished. That's the grand old party in a nutshell. We got ours, you get yours. And don't ask us for a dime. And that's very, very contrary, all right, from a group of people that got rich off the backs of slaves to all of a sudden not give a damn or not want to give a dime. So this should make our Republican friends extremely happy that because alcohol is out. Alcohol is dead. If it can take your vehicle or somebody else's vehicle that you're driving, make you spend between $10,000 and $30,000, all right, that's not feasible. And however, here's the sickest part: they know people are sick and not in their right mind. These local governments and states that are preying upon again the citizenry for revenue at any cost. At any cost. And the trick is you don't have to be drunk. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that great? Let's keep hope alive. I say if you're in New Mexico, at least stay sober. You can save yourself. What can you buy with $30,000? A boat, motorcycle, boat, trailer? What else can you get? You can have a Kanye wedding. You can have a Kim and Kanye wedding for 30 grand. No problem. That's a hell of a stone you can put on a lady's finger. Yeah, all kinds of crap. You can do a lot with your $30,000 and your vehicle. All right? Allegedly. If you're here, stay sober. Trust me. And you can thank me later. You can thank me later because the chances are, as you're in the taxi, you'll see 3 or 4 people pulled over about to lose their whole way of life. And livelihoods is included in that. They may not be able to work again in the field that they're currently in. It's a damn shame. And if you're not in your right mind, how could you be liable? Again, if you're here, check the history of New Mexico. It's very, very eye-opening. It's very sobering when you see just how many people lost their lives because of it, drinking and driving. One astronomer's quest to expose the alien-built canals of Mars. I hope one day we find out that it's our canals, that the human race actually put those down at some point and then made it to Earth, or maybe Earthlings actually went to Mars before. We don't know. We haven't been here very long. My wife gets so upset with me. She says, "You don't believe in global warming?" Like I'm a complete moron. And I understand where she's coming from because I'm very cynical about it all. But I say, no, I understand that the Earth is warming. I just don't like the fact that somehow all of a sudden it's our fault. If you don't have enough oppression already, now you're to blame for destroying the world as well. Not fair, and it's not true. In my humble opinion, dear wife, I love you. But if you look at it truly, one example, if this entire room was filled with water, the amount of time that humans have been on the planet, as far as we know, can be summed up in less than, if you had, those old water bottles, you see people spraying plants and stuff with the water bottles that have the spray. Not even a whole spray of that represents how long we have actually been here. So there's not enough data. And can you remember? Well, there's been ice ages. There's been heating trends before here on the planet Earth. We were not here. We had nothing to do with it. I have a theory. It's just a theory. It's going to happen again. There'll be another. As long as the planet's here, it goes through cycles. And they don't have a damn thing to do with humans, in my humble opinion. Of course, if you build more factories, if you put more carbon emissions in the air, yes, it will be warmer. Yes, it will. But destroying the Earth, that has nothing to do with us. That has been going, what's happening now has been going on before we were here. So that's my only view on global warming. I do believe that the Earth is heating up. However, I don't believe that humans that get the bad rap that we get and the oppression that comes from all kind of sources, that it's your fault and it's my fault that these crazy storms are happening, or the water levels are rising. They can't make up their mind whether it snowed in May in Santa Fe, New Mexico. All right, so is that our fault too? Please, somebody tell me. Anyway, I digress. So you can find all these stories. This was the morning hash. We had plenty of more to share with you. Let's go over here to the morning hash. One of them was a real sneaky trap going on in the world of technology. We thought was just absolute crap. However, there is good news. Facebook, oh my God, I thought Microsoft would do this, right? Facebook is actually, where is it? They're going to check, it's going to check your computer for malware. And I've been dreaming about that for years and years. I thought Microsoft would eventually do it. I don't, only because Microsoft used to use ActiveX, or not ActiveX, DirectX, to do a check of your updates. And I thought, well, why don't they just check out the machine too? What's wrong with that? You sign off on a simple agreement and they check out everything for you, let you know what's up, and you make your own decisions from there. Never happened. But here's Facebook using good money for good reasons. When you sign on to Facebook now, you're going to get, your computer's going to be checked. I don't know why that looks so crazy. Didn't focus properly. Anyway, I've had lots of problems with my little application, and they finally kind of got fixed last night. So if you're not catching the theme, you need to get with this. You need to start realizing that this is a real deal. This application went to the #1 spot and then got pulled, and it's all about growing cannabis. It went to #1. You know how hard that is for an application to go, and then it got pulled because it's too popular. I could see pulling Pipe Bomb, the application allegedly, or something like that off of the app thing. But this, why? Why stop some young horticulturist from learning how to, well, okay, there it is. You can check this story. It says that there's also a dealer portion. Maybe that's why. But I thought it was funny. I'm going to check that story out in depth later. You can check it out too. Let's click on it and see where we go. I forgot who posted this one up. Luke Dormal. Dormal? I guess I say it. Luke Dormal posted that. And who's he with? Oh, Cult of Mac. Yeah. Cult of Mac is great. They have everything. They talk about everything. Give them a shot. Go on over there and check the story out. Horrible. They pulled it. Yeah. And they got this guy with the, I thought it was a cute. I'm going to check it out in depth, though. See how cute it is. Let's go back over here. Surface is out, or Surface will be out. You can pre-order now. It's bigger. It's bolder. It's supposed to be better. We'll find out. Got to get one. Here it is. Here's the story right here. Privacy can be lucrative. Silent Circle just pulled in $30 million in funding. You know what? Doesn't this sound like a kid's fable? Isn't this sort of familiar? Oh, you can decide for yourself. This is at Gigaom by David Mayer. And that's gigaom.com. That's gigaom.com. This is crap, in my humble opinion. No way, no how. This is pure crap right here. No way, no how. This reminds me of The King Has No Clothes. Is that the name of the story? Was that it? Some shysters convince a king that he's wearing the most beautiful in the world that actually don't exist. It's invisible clothes, so it's beautiful. It's showing off the body, and yet you're wearing clothes. This sounds like that. Let me say it again. Let me say it with oomph this time. Let me share with you some real wisdom. There is no privacy on the internet. Period. Let me say it again. You know, I really don't think, I'm glad that bad guys don't understand this. But for the good folk of the world, you ought to know this. And if you don't, get in touch with the thing past your frontal lobe, deeper gray matter. Think about it. Think about it, man. Shit. Listen, communication happens this way. That's communication. There is no other form of communication whatsoever. Communication works like this. No matter what the medium is, you can take it all the way back to the can and the string. Communication works like this. There's no anonymity. There's no privacy. Ever. There will never be privacy. There will never be anonymity. Anonymity. Never. It'll never happen. It's a pipe dream. And this is what they sold to all of those good people that gave them $30 million and helped them out of what is logic and brought them over to the other half of the hemisphere of the brain into fantasy land. Mark my words. All of you parents, all of you people in charge of little people, all of you little people, listen up. All those applications that promise you that you're not going to get in trouble, that's a lie. Eventually, if you do the wrong thing and the wrong people get hurt, or the right people get hurt, you're going to get in trouble. Why? Because communication works like this. Somebody's got it. It's in the air. You can't police all of the air on Earth, can you? You know how many lines are on the planet Earth? You know how the internet works at all. Please go to Eli the Computer Guy's site, episode 341, and get quickly brought up to speed on how the internet works. Please, 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 don't send your parents to prison. Save their little thing back here that they admire and try to defend with all of their being. They just don't know that you've purchased this app. They don't know the consequences. But what you ought to know is there's no anonymity on the internet. Ever. There never has been. And there never will be. Or else communication can't work. A secret's only a secret if you don't tell anybody. Right? Think about it. Think about it. If you tell somebody, it's no longer a secret. So if you actually get to communicate, there's no way logically that it can be anonymous. There's no way logically in the 21st century that you're going to have privacy. You cannot say and do what you want in America. Don't you know? It's a fallacy. It's a law. It's nostalgic. All right. Even back then, you really couldn't do it. I mean, yes, it's pretty words, and we have a whole thing built on this. But you have to understand, as a citizen of the United States, you agree to follow all of the rules and guidelines that go along with being a citizen. You agree. You agree. So if you're here by choice, most likely. And if you're here by choice, that means that you agree. If you go get a license, if you go get an identification, if you get an ID, you are officially a citizen, and all the rules apply to you. So if you think that you're going to call so-and-so down the street, a big fat whatever, and talk about their nationality or their, where their people come from, what their bloodline is, or what their gender is, make fun of their gender or what they think their gender is, and nobody's going to know about it, that's a lie. And here's a company that has gotten $30 million on that lie. And they collected $30 million because they told people what people wanted to hear, what their itching ears desired. Think about it. Thanks for joining us. My name is kShaun with memesIT.com. We'll check you out at the Red Light Rush. Hope you'll check us out.